Hey y'all, what's good? It's your girl Tay, and I'm back with another video. So as you can see, I'm at home. I'm actually upstairs in my son's room. I'm trying to hide because well, not hide, but he's down there watching TV and I don't want no copyright issues with what he's watching on TV. So I came up here to just I'm sorry, your girl's a little thick and I just walked up my stairs, and so I'm a little out of breath. But anyways, definitely make sure you guys smash that like button, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. Plus, push your post notification bell button so that way anytime I upload a video, you guys will be notified. So, this is what I wanted to tell y'all. I wanted to share my experience with doing the census enumerator job for 2020. I did put a video out there a while back with me talking about putting the link for you guys to go and sign up, saying that it was going to be temporary work, but that I thought that it was worth it because it was really good pay, even though the pay was supposed to only last for 2 months. But it was like, depending on where you were and what state you were in and all of that, you know, the pay was pretty good. At least for me, where I am in California, the pay was $25 an hour. And even for just 2 months, that's 8 weeks at $25 an hour. And if you were lucky to get 40 hours of work for at least, I would say, a good 60 to 70% of those 8 weeks, then you could have made anywhere from, I would say, between $4,000 to $7,000, you know, give or take. So there were a lot of inconsistencies in the training. Everything was so last minute. You know, you could tell that everything was last minute put together in terms of the training. I went in for orientation. It was a drive-through orientation. It was in the parking lot of like some major, I don't even know what the establishment was, but it was like they borrowed a parking structure of, let's say, like a mall or something. You know how they have multi-levels? So there was a line. You drive through, you go inside, and you pull into a parking space, and they literally have you guys lining up next to each other in these cars, and they're talking to you about pretty much the paperwork, the supplies that they're about to give you, contacting your CFS, which is basically your Census Field Supervisor, and the training that you're going to need to complete within the next 48 hours. So I didn't get any phone call like they said I would from my census supervisor. I actually had to keep calling to find out who it was, and eventually I got in contact with my supervisor, told me that he had sent out a mass text to everybody that was on his team, but that he had inputted the last 4 digits of my phone number wrong, so I wasn't included in those mass texts, and therefore that's why there was no communication between him and I. Outside of that, they allowed, I think it was up to 15 hours for training in it. When you were going through the training, some of it was on the actual device that they gave us, which was an iPhone, and the iPhone was your beacon for everything. You use this phone to input your hours, you input your mileage. It was how you clocked in and out. It was pretty much if there were any messages that were coming from the census office that you were assigned to specifically, you would get it to that device. So you inputted the information from the interviews that you completed out there in the field into that device. Everything revolved around that device. You got a bag, you got a badge. They gave us masks, they gave us sanitizer, of course, because of everything that's going on. And we had certain documentations that we were to give to the person we were speaking to during an interview to kind of explain what we were getting ready to go over in the interview. And then there was another document that we would leave on the door to let them know that we had came to their house to get the information and attempt to do the interview. So outside of that, I would say that I am lucky that I honestly didn't have any bad experiences. I didn't come across any issues with anyone that found any fault in me, the way I look, the color of my skin, any of that stuff. I had some people that were maybe a little bit cantankerous, you know, older people who just really didn't want to be bothered, and I wasn't about to push them. I know that there are some people who just kind of have that attitude. They kind of take it like as if it's a cell phone job, so they want to try to convince the person that they need to do this interview. But for me, once a person pretty much told me, you know, I don't want to do it for whatever the reason may be, whether it was privacy concerns, whether they felt like it was a waste of time, or whether they just did not want to be bothered, I didn't push it. I mean, I literally had some interviews where some people didn't even open the door. They were talking to me through a big wooden door, you know, who is it? And I'm just trying to ask them any questions to get any information. You know, the most important thing was to find out how many people were living in their household. So if I can get just that, the basic information, then I would input that into the system and move on to the next person. So for the most part, I would say that it was a fairly okay experience. It didn't help that it was hot. Majority of the time, it was hot as hell. It was extremely hot. So, you know, I had to really make sure that I was hydrated, make sure I had water. I took plenty of breaks, made sure that my AC was running in my car because it was just too hot. But for the most part, it was okay. I don't know whether or not I would consider doing it again for the next census. I mean, you know, of course, it's completely random. It's like a lottery. Loads of people apply, but it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody's going to get hired, from what I was told. So, I mean, I guess you could say I was one of the lucky ones, although I can't necessarily say I felt that way when I was out there working. You know, I do feel some type of way about being a part of the census for 2020, but at the end of the day, with everything that's going on, I really don't know how much of a difference I made. So, you know, that remains to be seen, or maybe I'll never know. Moving on, though, I wanted to update those of you, you know, update you guys on whatever information that I think that I can give that may be helpful. So I'm not sure how to explain it exactly, but pandemic EBT, P-ebt cards. We received P-ebt cards a few months back to give us extra, I guess, extra money, finances, to be able to take care of the fact that now majority of us, all of us, have our kids at home with us and they're not going to school. So I heard and saw and read and researched that California had indeed been approved for a second issuance of P-ebt benefits. However, in the past few days, I have been calling CDSS. I have been looking on the USDA website trying to get information. I even called the hotline number for pandemic EBT, which I'm going to leave in the description box below. This is specifically for California. I know that currently right now, I believe that there's 17 states that have been approved. I don't know the names of those states off the top of my head, but I do know that California is one of them. So I'm only going to be talking about California. Like I said, I've been calling in and speaking to representatives about P-ebt to find out if that information was real in regards to us being approved for a second issuance of P-ebt benefits, and I was initially told no. I called in today, the hotline, and was able to get some information from one of the representatives that basically told me that, yeah, they were just informed about the approval for California as of last night. However, they don't have a for sure date as to when the P-ebt benefits will be issued. They expect that they will be issued all at the same time on brand new cards. So for those of you like myself who've already received a white and black card for P-ebt benefits, I wouldn't necessarily throw it away. I know I'm not going to throw away mine, you know, but I wouldn't throw it away just in case that person may have been misinformed on this particular issue. So from what he says, you are going to be receiving, or we are going to be receiving more cards, different cards, and they are supposed to be distributed between either mid-October to mid-November. They don't have a for sure date, and it's going to be up to $175 per child. Outside of that, there's not much information, other information that has been given at this time. I'm the type of person who likes to call in multiple times, so I probably will call in tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that and the day after that, just to make sure that the information is correct. And of course, if any of that information changes or I find some discrepancies in what I was told today versus what I may be told tomorrow or the day after that, I will definitely inform you guys. But as far as right now, today, October the 2nd, that's the information that was just given to me. California has been approved for a second round of P-ebt benefits. They are going to be coming on a brand new card between mid-October and mid-November. Qualifications are still the same. Most likely, if you received a P-ebt card the first time, then you won't have to worry. You will be receiving your second P-ebt card. As long as your child is in a qualifying school, And from what I know, that doesn't include any type of Head Start, preschool, early Head Start, any of those types of programs. They have to be in a school where they have filled out, or you as the parent has filled out an application for free or reduced price lunch and breakfast meals for school. So that being said, if you have a child that was in the 12th grade, when they got the P-ebt card the last time and they just recently graduated, 9 times, well, most likely they won't be getting a card. You won't be getting any benefits for that child. So anyone else outside of that situation should be receiving the second round of P-ebt benefits. So that's pretty much all I wanted to tell you guys. I hope that this video was in some way informative. I just wanted to continue with my promise and continue to try to be consistent for Vlogtober. This is my day 2 for Vlogtober. So yeah, you guys, that's all I got. Like I said, check the description box below for the hotline to call P-ebt benefits. This information is only relative to California only. I know that there are 17 other states. I just do not have the names of those states. So if you guys would like for me to dig and get that information and do it in another video where I can go over that for you and with you, then I will do so. Please leave your comments down below. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Peace.